money magnets.
We wanted to jump on here tonight and talk about how to get $50,000 in business funding. We're going to teach you guys some insider tips, a lot of things that people overlook. And if you guys got questions, look, I want you to do not hesitate to put it in the comments. So drop comments if you got questions about you've been denied for a business loan, you're looking for a business loan, or what it takes to get a business loan.
Yeah, we're going to dive into some of the requirements, you know, because we get so many money magnets that come to us and want to know what are the requirements to get a business loan. You know, like can it be a new business? How old does my business have to be, you know, in order to get to this bag? So, you know, we're here tonight to do a Q&A and talk about what does it take to get a business loan? You know, what are some of the requirements? Do we have personal bankers? Do you need a personal banker? Do you need a relationship with the bank in order to get to some of this money? So let's take a deep dive into what you actually need to get to the bag.
So I would say one major requirement is that you figure out whether you want a LLC or a corporation. You don't necessarily need it. It's not mandatory, but if you want high approvals, I would definitely look at setting up an LLC or a corporation. And then I would make sure I got my EIN number, my business address, my telephone number, and my email. And then after that, I would look at bank accounts.
Yeah, because, you know, like some people, you know, like even Marvin, during the pandemic, when they were giving money away, the SBA, you could be a sole proprietor. You could be a sole proprietor and get to that bag, you know, so, but you had to use your social security number, you know, in place of your EIN number. So I would recommend that you most definitely set up a LLC or a corporation, you know, however you want that entity to look. And then know that you will qualify for more funding.
Right. And then, you know, like Gloria is saying, make a plan. You know, like what we teach all of our students is make a long-term plan. When you start talking about 150, 200,000, 300,000, you need a plan to do this. You know, and then you don't want to do this all of a sudden. Like we get a lot of people that come to us, hey, I want to do credit card stacking. I want to get this stuff done right now. What do I do? And a lot of times we see people get a lot of inquiries, very low approvals, and the next thing you know, they're disappointed and they give up. And we had a lady like that in our mentorship. She kept going from mentorship to class to mentorship, and she wasn't able to get those big approvals. She got with us and we showed her all the little things
that she was missing,
that she was doing wrong.
And guess what? She was able to get a $75,000 credit card, just one inquiry. And she couldn't believe it, because she was like, you know, when she spoke to me on the phone, she came from YouTube and she was so excited to jump on the call with me. Yes, Marvin and I jump on the Zoom call, so no worries. If you decide to book a one-on-one Zoom call, you know, yes, you get Marvin and Gloria, so no worries. So we work with you personally, okay? So she was like, she couldn't believe it. You know, she wanted to do a call. I hit her up and she couldn't believe I was on the phone with her. First of all, okay? So then we looked at it. We took a deep dive into her business. We looked at her business, looked at what she needed to do. She needed to get her address fixed. She needed to, you know, like everything needs to line up with the bank. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know money magnets, you be on here, you hear people talking about, oh, on Instagram and on TikTok, talk about get all this money, and they're not telling you, you know, like, what do you need to do to get approved? You know, you can get to the bag, but you're gonna have to do some work.
But you got to make sure your foundation is right. So we already covered LLC, EIN, address, email address, phone number. Now you got to get the bank account. So choose the bank either that you've done business with or that's in your area. Like, there is no best bank. Of course, you got the big banks. You know, you got the American Express, the Chase, the City, the US Bank, all of that. You got those different banks, but you got to make sure it's the best bank for you. All right, so once you got that straight, all right, I would start depositing money into my business bank account.
Yeah.
Whether that's, you know, doing a direct deposit every 2 weeks or every week, I would put $50 to $100 that I would deposit over there on a regular basis. And then make sure, guys, that you have a great credit score. So if you're 680 and below, I would think about adding authorized users. I would think about asking for credit limit increases.
Yes.
I would think about paying my debt down.
Most definitely.
If possible, because the more that you get that debt down or put a distance between your credit limit and your balance, now your score goes up.
Yeah, and it's really important for you to think about, you know, if you already have some relationships,
right?
I would be going in asking for an increase on those relationships. You know, ask for a nice number, and guess what? They're going to counter back. If they're not going to give you the highest number that you want, they'll counter back and give you something, you know, comfortable.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it's really important that you start looking at a goal and a plan.
Correct.
You know, like, everybody needs funding for their business. Like, you know, I need infusement of money right now. But guess what? I'm getting ready to go fund. And that's the problem. Businesses always go and try to get money when they need money. But you should be raising money all the time.
Yep. So YOLO, thank you for dropping in. He has a couple comments. Hello to the best melanin couple in the funding space. Thank you. Diego, how you doing? YOLO says, all banks are good as long as they got the personal and business products you need and want, so get that money. You are exactly right. You know, because what happens, you know, if you got a bank that has personal and business, you can kind of double dip.
Baby.
You can double dip. You can get a personal credit card, turn around. If they approve you for the personal, odds are they're going to approve you for the business.
And let me say this, Marvin.
Okay.
One thing that is important, and let me say this, Money Magnus. Don't think I'm trying to sell you on something, because that's not my goal, okay? Like, it took years and a lot of time for Marvin and I to get in the place that we are in today. Like, it just didn't happen for us. You know, we had to fail to succeed. You know, we had to go through a couple of things to get to where we are, like as far as lenders, bankers.
Oh my God!
You know, like, we had to test out some stuff. So when we bring it to you, we know it firsthand, because guess what? We tested it.
Yeah, we tested it. We tried it, and and it's gonna get there.
Yeah. So and let me say this. So we get a lot of people that say, "Oh, well, I need their help. I can fund myself." Okay.
Right.
You funding yourself is going to get you that $500 limit.
Yeah.
Because guess what? We know what the banks are looking for. We have personal bankers that are on our team. Like, I'm talking about bankers that are in New York, Manhattan, in corporate. Okay? So we have personal bankers that we have personal bankers that, you know, are right there with us, that are helping you every step of the way, you know, and they're gonna jump on the Zoom call. So there's no scamming, none of that, okay? So you want to make sure that you do your research. You get with the right people to guide you. You need that road, like, we all need a roadmap from time to time. Like, you know, sometimes I'm like, okay, I need to go over here, but I don't have directions. This is a new city for me. I don't know which way to go. So guess what? I'm going to turn on that GPS, which is the roadmap.
Exactly. And you know what? Like Gloria said, you know, if you can get a relationship manager,
so important.
They will help you get higher approvals than doing it online by yourself. And then it makes life easy. As you grow with the bank, you can get a wealth manager, relationship manager. And as you get deeper with the bank, believe it or not, they will give you better approvals, and you'll get products that can actually help you in your business.
That is
like
so important.
One thing that a lot of business owners sleep on is you can get merchant processing with the bank. You know, and that helps you when you're going to collect money from your customers. And a lot of people overlook that when they're setting up relationship with banks. And you don't, look, I'm gonna tell you, we've had problems with merchant processing.
Most definitely.
And, you know, what you'll realize is nothing wrong with having more than one merchant processor and more than one bank that you actually do business with, because things happen. Things happen all the time. How you doing, Denise? We got Yolo, Denise, Diego.
Now, let me tell you something. If you have questions, don't look, drop them in the chat.
Right.
Let us answer. This is most definitely a Q&A.
Yep.
To help you, to help you answer some of those questions, and let's get rid of some of these myths that are out here.
Right.
Because we hear and see so many different things on Instagram and our TikTokers,
right.
which I love these platforms. But you want to make sure that you're getting some good information and someone to guide you. So this is your opportunity. Drop comments, drop questions. This is most definitely a Q&A to help you scale your business, get where you're trying to go.
Right.
And if if you have bad credit, let's talk about it.
Yeah.
Let's talk about what do we need to do to get you in a better position so that you can get to the money.
Yeah, because even for people lower than the 680, let's talk about that.
Yeah.
We've made several videos on our channel on how to fix your credit with AI. So if you got issues with collections, charge-offs, late payments, bankruptcy, repos, foreclosures,
yes,
you need to check out the video that we have about how to fix your credit with AI. I mean, it doesn't take a long time. If you got about 30 minutes a month, literally, takes about 30 minutes. The AI will help you write the letters. No, first, let me back up.
Yes.
The AI will help you separate the negative from the positive. That was something that used to take me anywhere from 30 minutes to an hour.
And it would take me longer, y'all, because I read a little slow.
And so now the AI does that in 1 minute. Literally 1 minute, it'll pull up your credit report. It'll come up with negative and positive items. It'll even tell you the suggested reason,
most definitely,
of what you should put as a reason to dispute. And guess what? It'll send you the letters for all 3 bureaus. And it gives you instructions. It gives you the address to mail it to. It gives you what you need to write on the letter, where you need to sign it. It's almost goof proof. Yeah. And at first I was against it. At first I didn't like it.
I was for it. Y'all know how I'm for everything. You know how Marvin was talking about I'm kicking rocks at no docks. And I was like, and I'm picking them up. I'm picking up the rocks. Y'all know how I am about Marvin is for it.
Right.
He wasn't for it, and I was all for it.
And so if you guys, first of all, check out the video, comment AI if you need that software. So if you need the software to help you out with your credit, I need you to comment AI. Even after this video replays, I always go back and send everybody, I comment back. So make sure you watch those videos. We got about 3 videos on how AI can help you fix your credit. That's if you're below 680. And it's also if you got problems with inquiries. I mean, we have a lot of people that may go buy a car, or they go house shopping and they get a bunch of unnecessary inquiries, because to have the best chances of getting a business loan, you need about less than 3 inquiries in the last 6 months. And so now we're gonna go back to the people that are over 680. So now what I would do if I were you is sit down and make a game plan. There's several banks out here right now that are giving out $50,000, $75,000 credit cards in the name of the business.
With 0% interest?
Yeah, with 0% interest.
That right there is a cash flow changer.
Yeah, it is.
When we talk about 0% interest, Marvin, cash flow changer.
Yeah, when you can get 0% for 12 months, for 18 months.
Yes.
I mean, as a business, that helps you out tremendously, because now you're able to get things in your business and not have to worry about paying a bunch of interest and losing money. Because when you're paying interest, let's face it, you're losing money.
Most
I mean, you can write it off, but at the end of the day, you got to pay it to get to the write-off.
And also, Marvin, it helps you when you don't have to pay interest.
Right.
That's a good way to help you pay your credit card debt off.
Right.
That's a good way for you to infuse your business with extra money.
Exactly.
Just think about it. Like a lot of times I tell people all the time, you're gonna step over a penny so you can get to the dollar. No, I'm gonna pick that penny up and that dollar.
Right.
So you just need to think about, looking at ways, like, especially for those who have, high DTI.
Right.
Debt to ratio income. You know what I'm saying? So your debt to ratio income is really, really high. This is a good way. Find you a 0% interest credit card. Maybe you can do a balance transfer, because a lot of these cards right now, you know, they're offering, you know, anywhere from 9 to 15 months of no interest on the card.
On purchases and balance transfers. And if you're somebody that's suffering from high utilization, those balance transfers can take you from 29% interest over to 0% interest. And that could save you some money as far as your monthly payments.
Yes, most definitely. Now, when we're talking about on the business side, you get into that $100,000, okay? Make sure you have your EIN. Check your addresses. We're going to tell you how to get to the money.
Yes.
You know, make sure your address is correct. Make sure you paid your Secretary of State fees. Because we had one of our mentees that we were going to take him to the bank, but guess what? He didn't pay his Secretary of State fees. So guess what? When the bank go and look, especially, just think about it, Money Magnets. When you open a bank account, that's one of the first things they look at. They want to see your EIN number and your corporation entity. They're going to go on the Secretary of State. If you don't bring the paperwork in with you, and even when you bring it in, they're going to go online and they're going to look you up in whatever state you're in. They want to see that you're in good standing with the state. You know, so that's really, really important.
And then making sure that you open up a bank account and start using the bank account. You know, whether you got good credit or bad credit, showing the bank that you want to have a relationship with them, that goes a long way. And then also, if you got bad credit, get a business secure card or a personal secure card. That way, you're able to show them that, hey, I want to do business with you guys. And then they graduate to unsecured cards.
And Marvin, we're going to go back to that in just a second because that's a good gem that we can drop for you, okay? But let me say this. Marvin and I talk about, Marvin just made a very good point, opening up a bank account. Let me say this. Now to get to the bag, one of the important things that you need to do is build a relationship with that bank. Banks are getting to the point where they don't want you to just take a money grab and run. You know, they want that relationship. And believe it or not, the more that you build a relationship with banks, the more money that you can get from them, okay? So a good way, we have like several banks now, that if you go and you open up an account, drop $5,000 in that account and don't spend it. And just kind of have money, you know, if you want to do something, have a little bit going in and out of that account. That right there is the relationship, because what it does is it help your bank rating. And all banks have internal bank rating, okay? They all have like little things that they look at before they start lending to you.
Because we've seen people in like Navy Federal, for instance. We've seen people with low 600s get approved when we're looking at somebody with a 720 that may get denied. And we started looking at what was the difference. And the difference was the person with the low 600s may have been a member for 20 years. Like 20 years, it actually helped them get an approval because of what? Like Gloria said, it was the actual relationship that actually got them approved. And long story short, you know, when you first get into a bank and open up a bank account, start using a debit card, start using the ATM, you know, letting them know that, hey, I want to build a relationship, because those transactions help.
Or start doing a direct deposit. You know, let me tell you something, guys. Okay, so Marvin and I are on payroll at our company. But guess what? I have our money going like 3 or 4 different places. You know, like a little bit, just so that we can continue that relationship. You know, that account, when you have no activity in an account, a bank doesn't like that. You know, so I have $25 direct deposit going here, $30 going here. You sprinkle your money out a little bit, because I don't know if you guys saw this, okay? And this is another reason why it's good to sprinkle your money. It doesn't have to be a whole lot of money. And you know, when you do payroll for yourself and your business, or if you're working and doing on payroll, you can have money deposit into several accounts. It all doesn't have to go direct deposit. doesn't have to go to one bank account. You can divvy what you want to go to each account.
Right.
And one of the important reasons why I'm saying this as well, because we have a video that we did about Patel Bank.
Yeah.
Where people couldn't pay their bills because they couldn't get to their money.
Oh, Patelco Credit Union.
Yeah, the credit union. Yes.
Yeah, it's been several credit unions that had a breach. And like she said, Patelco Credit Union, they actually, people couldn't get their money out the bank.
Yeah.
What was it? Chase. We made a video about Chase where people couldn't even see their balances on the.
That was Bank of America, because that happened to us.
My bad. Bank of America. Yeah.
We bank with Bank of America on the restaurant side.
Yeah.
And we're in Tulum, and I'm looking and I'm like, I couldn't log in.
Right.
And then when I logged in, I didn't have no money in my account, and I'm like, oh my God, what is going on?
Right.
And it was a payroll day, but it cleared up so quick until by that time Marvin and I are looking online, and we found the articles where they were talking about money was disappearing and they couldn't log into their account, and we experienced that.
Exactly. So what we're saying is have several relationships.
Most definitely.
Because now it seems like a data breach is happening at least once a month, maybe twice a month with certain banks. And like with Bank of America, people were logging into their account and didn't see any money.
Yes.
I mean, that could be scary.
It was scary.
On a payroll day when you got to pay other people and you can't even see how much money you have. Or if something cleared that you needed. Yeah. So, spread out those accounts. And then, guys, really look at what type of funding you need. I get several people every week that call me and say, Marvin, I'm doing real estate. I want to pay cash for the house. And I'm like, look, you don't want to do that. You want to get a real estate investment loan that's secured by the house. You want to get credit cards, lines of credit, and loans so that you can pay for the repairs on the property.
Right.
You don't want to stress yourself out trying to cash out a house. I mean, that's going to drive you crazy. So what I would do is make sure that you're taking your time and figuring out, do I need cash rewards? Do I need travel rewards? Like, what is it that I need to help my business out? And we getting some great comments. YOLO dropped a couple nuggets. He said, are you aware that you can get a balance transfer from a business credit card to a business line of credit account?
Yes.
Or business account, I think you meant.
To a bit. Yeah, so now a lot of banks are letting you take the money off your credit card and put it right in your bank account, y'all. I'm telling y'all, it's some nuggets out here, I'm telling you.
And so Michael Owens tuned in from Chicago. What up, Southside? I grew up in Markham, man. Good to see you. Thank you for tuning in. YOLO also said, automating those bank-to-bank churning is an excellent strategy. Yes. All right. Jason says, yeah, got to leverage those funds. Yes. And a lot of times you can, like what YOLO is saying, you can get money from one bank, deposit it into the next bank.
Exactly. And then get money from that bank too. So you have to, look, you have to make these strategic moves. It's all a process.
Yeah.
Like, I'm telling y'all, when we talk about this, I get so excited because it's possible, Marvin. I remember when I was struggling, I didn't know where that next dollar was gonna come from. I'm robbing Peter to pay Paul to keep my business afloat.
Right.
Like, I know it's some of y'all out here that's having a hard time.
Right.
So you gotta sit down and make a plan. I'm just gonna tell you, like, I've been there. I've been there. I was robbing Peter to pay Paul. I was one of those people that didn't know if they was gonna come shut the lights off and I wasn't gonna be able to, let the customers come in and eat. I was there. So trust me. But you have to make a plan and get yourself in a better position so you can get to the money. It's possible.
Yeah.
It's possible. You can see the light at the end of the tunnel.
Yeah. And if you guys want us to help you raise funding, we got a lot of relationship managers.
Yes.
If you guys are ready for some long-term funding,
yes,
you ready to go, let's get to it. You know what I mean? And if you guys want to actually make a long-term plan, what I mean by long-term is you want $500,000, you want $1 million.
Yes.
If those are the numbers that you want to make sure you get a free business strategy call with us. And we offer those If you need it, put it in the comments. I'll make sure I hit you up. Oh, and Michael says I'm a contractor. Man of my heart. I was in construction, man, for over 13 years. I really get it. You know, I built houses. I've done stucco most of my construction life, and I was a general contractor in 3 states, so I know a lot about construction. But Michael says, I'm a contractor over 20 years. I'm almost losing all I built. I'm pivoting into rehabbing for myself and new construction. I have the builders for relationships. Oh my God, you sounded like me. I was losing my plastering company when I was about 29, and I transitioned into rehabbing houses. So you're doing the right thing. What you need to do, if I were you, Michael, I'm sorry. Michael, what I would do is I would be working on setting up net 30s. Because just say, for instance, if you're losing your business, I'm assuming your credit score might be a little low. We really need to get on a free business strategy call, and I need to help you put a plan together to kind of bridge going from one to the other. Because I was making $100,000 a month doing stucco work, and I was going into rehabbing. Of course, the income wasn't the same because I'm spending money on the house.
Right.
And I have to wait. Yeah, I gotta wait till I sell the house.
Yeah.
So I ended up learning how to do credit repair, and it helped me turn renters into buyers. And when I turned those renters into buyers, guess what? I was able to sell them a house, but the process took me about 90 days to complete. And what I would do is get with your banker. Make sure if you got good credit.
No, he has 3 LLCs.
Oh, he got 3 LLCs. Okay.
Oh, that's Jason. I'm sorry.
Right. I'm getting them
that's
mixed up.
Jason. I'm sorry, Michael. That was Jason. Jason said he flipped over 100 houses, and he has multi-family homes.
And he needs to raise scores.
Yeah. Well, reach out to us.
Yeah, reach out to us,
Let me tell y'all
guys.
something. Marvin has flipped over 250 houses. Yeah. You can Google him, okay?
Right.
And he has a business plan. Like, we have an attorney that
my same attorney of over 30 years, man. He's on TikTok, and you know, I'm telling you, between myself and that attorney,
I'm sorry, Marvin. I wasn't talking about your attorney there. I was talking about the attorney in the mentorship program. Got the business plan and was able to get some funding.
Yeah, my bad. We know several attorneys, but if you guys are trying to put plans together for real estate, we can definitely help you. But like Jason said, you got to raise those scores. Michael said it's low. I never used it. I'm running off cash the whole ride. I have less than 9K owed in my credit card. Wow. So look, guys, I'm telling y'all, let's get on that free business strategy call.
Yes.
Let us show you guys how to raise those scores.
Yes.
How to maximize. Like, it sounds like, you know, if one of you guys are in construction, we want to help you raise business credit. Now you got net 30s, which you can raise 50 to 100,000 with net 30s.
Yeah.
Then you got Amex, Visa, MasterCard. So between the two, you can get there.
Then you have B-lots, you have loans.
Right.
You know, Marvin was able to tell him your story, baby. Like, Marvin is really holding back, y'all. I want him to tell y'all how he went to 12 banks, and he was able to raise $1.2 million to flip houses.
Well, I'm gonna tell you, both Jason and Michael, guys, pay attention. Like, I had got my DMV first. I had my Dun & Bradstreet first. I set up my net 30s. So if you deal with like Lowe's, Home Depot, the lumber yards, set up net 30s ASAP. You know, because the net 30s are gonna give you 30 days to make payments. That's gonna help you rehab and do construction on houses. Both of you guys talking about real estate. Net 30s is gonna help you the whole way.
Okay.
So after that, I will be working on my credit score at the same time, which means whoever you banking with, both of y'all seem like y'all are in business. Go get a secured card if you have no credit cards. I think one of you guys said you have no credit cards. You need to get a secured card like tomorrow. And then keep increasing that secured card. And then at the same time, let's look at your credit to see if you have any negative items. Okay, if you got any negative items, let's settle, let's remove them. Let's get that score to where we're up over 680. When we're over 680, sounds like both of y'all have LLCs that are already in business over 2 years. The main focus we need to concentrate on is working on your personal credit. That's kind of, that was the big thing we were going to say tonight on the live. Like right now, Most of America is in credit card debt.
Most definitely.
Over $1.4 trillion in credit card debt. So if you guys don't have credit card debt, if you got low scores, let's remove those negative items.
Collections, any derogatory.
Inquiries, charge-offs, late payments. Let's look at the credit report, figure out what we can do to inch that score up. Nothing is going to happen overnight. I want to make sure we set the expectation right. But if you guys follow the blueprint, follow the plans that we'll have for you guys.
Consistent and persistent will get you where you're trying to go.
We're going to show you guys how to raise your credit scores and be able to get credit cards, loans, and lines of credit. So we'll be able to help you guys get there. Jason says, do you have any resources to get a PDF for 25 million, I think, to buy a strip mall? Well, I'm gonna tell you like this: when you get to going to commercial, a lot of the times the properties they qualify themselves. It will determine something on you, but before you go to a property that big, the bank wants to see that you have experience on smaller commercial properties.
And we do have an SBA lender.
Yeah, we got an SBA
that can
lender.
possibly help you with that. Guys, we have so many lenders. We have a lot of banking relationships. So Jason, you may want to just book a call. We need to ask a few more questions and dig a little bit deeper to see who we may be able to pair you with that can help you get your deal closed that you're trying to close. So
exactly.
That's just all about, some more dialogue,
Right. And then, for the most part, guys, remember this. Get with the bankers, get secure cards.
Yes.
Let's start working on your credit scores, and then let's strategically, listen to what I'm saying, let's strategically start raising funds. Because if you raise capital with a strategy, you'll look back a year from now and you may have 300, 400,000.
Yeah.
And if, like Gloria said, she's telling you a story about, once I learned more about real estate, I wrote a business plan that my mentor helped me write. I got my P&L together, 2 years taxes, bank statements, good credit score, money in the bank. And I went to 12 banks. I got denied by 6, approved by 6, but each bank gave me a line of credit for real estate. Now let me finish. Not a line of credit that I could write the check on, but a line of credit if I wanted to buy a property up to, under 250, they would do it. And so I want you guys to realize that you can get real estate loans, and that was 15 years ago. So today, instead of 250 per bank, that may be 500,000 to $1 million per bank. And so, you can raise a lot of capital, especially if it's real estate and you have construction experience. Because I was a general contractor in 3 states. I had tons of construction experience. So that really helped in my business plan. It let them know that I'm very seasoned when it came to rehabbing houses.
Yeah, and that's a requirement now. Banks want to know that you have experience because, you might fumble the bag. Okay. And they don't want you to do that.
All right, Paul asked a great question. Paul says, how can I get a business relationship manager, laugh a little, so I can start funding business? Paul, you need to set up a free business strategy call. We can show you how to do that. I've been thinking about asking Gloria, should we create a class around that? Like, it's a lot of people coming to us wanting to start funding businesses.
Yeah.
So, Paul, if you're excited about starting a funding business, give us a shout. Yeah, give us a shout.
We're not gatekeepers now.
Yeah, we're not gatekeepers. We can actually help you set up a funding business, because I don't think the banks are going to run out of money anytime soon.
Yeah.
And if you can help more small businesses, there it is.
And Money Magnets, let me say this to you. Keep in mind, banks are in business to make money.
Right.
How do they make money? Off of the everyday us, like me,
business
owners, personal accounts. They're in business to make money.
Right.
They're in business to loan money.
Right.
So open up those accounts. Start getting those relationships.
And what's up, Malachi? I think that's Malachi.
Hi, Malachi.
Hi, Malachi. How you doing?
You.
I think that's the same Malachi. If it is Malachi, you need to text me.
Exactly.
All right. Jason says, have you heard about private money? Yes, I grew up on private money.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Have you heard of family offices, hedge funds? Yes, yes, and yes. We live in Puerto Rico. majority of the year. And in Puerto Rico, you have some of the top hedge fund managers, some of the top crypto guys, stockbrokers, everything. Yes. So yes, we've heard of a lot of hedge funds, a lot of funds for private money. I got a whole business plan and PowerPoint written around private money. Like I had doctors, lawyers, and several business people that would loan me money to buy real estate. So private money is a great way to buy real estate. It's great when you can make a phone call and they can wire the money to your closing attorney.
Like that, Marvin.
Yeah.
That's all up my alley.
And then, Jason, years ago, I would do a private money luncheon where I would target high net worth individuals and tell them I'll give them a return on their money if they want to buy real estate. So private money can be an excellent source for real estate. So if you're into that thing, like I said, you guys can definitely book a free business strategy call. Yep. Yolo says, what are my thoughts on the DSCR loans? I think they're amazing. I mean, I think if you can put 20% down and get into a property, I think it's absolutely amazing. I got a couple brokers that I talk to, and they basically say that it's limited docs. Like long as you can put the money down, they'll loan you the money. So yeah, I love DSCR loans. So if you're into that, you're into real estate, go for it. I mean, real estate, you can be so creative, man. When I first started in real estate, I was losing my construction company. I put out little bandit signs that said, we buy houses. And that was actually the start of me getting in real estate. And, to me, real estate, you can be so creative. And you can raise money based on the deal, the house, the building, whatever it is.
Let me tell you guys, when I met Marvin, should I be saying this? Let me go and say it. When I met Marvin, we were buying a house. He had a sign in the yard before we even closed on the house and was selling the house. So when we went to the closing table, they were coming to the closing table. So we were selling it while we was buying it.
Yes, I do that all the time. Yes. Gloria was in Michigan.
I was so nervous. I was like, oh my God. I said, Marvin, you can't do that. We haven't closed yet. He was like, watch me.
Yeah, so, to me, real estate, man, you can be so creative. And if you guys are interested in raising capital, first of all, the $50,000 that we started on, if you're interested in raising $50,000 or more for your business, definitely look at that free business strategy call. Also look at the fact that we got to help you get in order. Yes. The biggest thing, we see people get denied for the smallest mistakes.
Yes, that is so
like Gloria said, one guy, he forgot to look at the Secretary of State to make sure he paid his yearly fees. Yeah. That cost him about $50,000.
It most definitely did.
So it's all the little things. And like the person asked me before, relationship managers, they're very important. And now that Gloria and I are on YouTube, we're on Instagram, we're on TikTok, now they reach out to us. So we meet a lot of relationship managers. And if you guys want to get into the funding space, Paul, I don't know if you were serious or you were just joking, but we can show you how to get into the funding space. We got a mentorship if you're interested in getting into that mentorship.
Yay.
And so what other questions y'all got? Y'all are pretty active tonight.
Yes, I love everything about it.
Drop some more comments about what you guys, need as far as your businesses are concerned. And, tell me which banks, who are you guys doing business with?
YOLO, who are you banking with?
YOLO,
you are very knowledgeable, and I love it.
YOLO seems very knowledgeable. Which banks are you doing business with, and how much have you done on the business side? Are you doing business credit cards? Sounds like you're doing business credit cards and business lines of credit. So, and if you guys want videos on other banks, drop some comments, guys, because we are researching banks all the time.
Yes.
If you guys want to talk about certain banks or certain types of loans, definitely drop those in the comments so that, we can make some content about it. And if you haven't done it, make sure you subscribe, guys. Make sure you subscribe. All right, Jason says he has Chase and credit unions. Okay, great.
That's amazing.
That's good. Chase, we got a great relationship manager with Chase.
Yes.
We're getting approvals anywhere
up to
from
$75,000.
Yeah, up to $75,000. And if you got a prior relationship, say like a year, you can get a line of credit or loans. Yep. All right, Paul says, I do business with Chase, KeyBank, PNC, Truist, GM Marcus, Amex.
That's what I'm talking
about.
Hello,
Alice, Navy. And look, keep that list going, Paul.
And I love Hello, Alice. That's a good resource that most people don't know about.
Yep. So, Paul, don't sleep on that. Keep that list going. Yeah. You know, like what most people do, they get a lot of relationships, then they stop. No, keep that process rolling, keep going, and keep raising capital, man. Don't stop. Like Tesla just raised some capital. They came out with a robot and a cab. Yeah. You know what? They're raising money every time they come out with new products.
Yeah, so like what Marvin is saying, like for example, every time they drop something new, every time Apple drops a new phone, what do they say? Hey, we got a pre-sale.
Right.
You anticipating that new phone.
Right.
But what they're doing is raising capital. That's raising money before the phone even drops.
Exactly. And guess what, guys? We all should be doing the same thing.
Most definitely.
You know, it's like if you want your business to grow, keep doing business with more banks.
Most definitely.
I mean, you know, it's people out here with $1 million, $2 million in credit cards. Yep. Like literally, as long as you can manage it, you know what?
You can have it.
You can have it, and you'll find something to do with it.
Yeah, I agree.
And then, you know, the main thing is keep making good investments. Yeah. Or keep growing your business.
Most definitely.
You know, like what we're doing. We're looking at other ways to market. We invested in a mentorship with on our YouTube. Yeah. You know, so we can learn about YouTube and educate ourselves so we can reach more people and help more businesses.
That's really important. So, you know, in life and in business, you should always have a coach.
Right.
You know, like we have no problem in investing in our success. You need someone to help you get to where you're trying to go.
Exactly.
So, like Marvin stated, we invested in a YouTube mentorship.
Right.
You know, you should have a coach, somebody that's an expert, that's better than you.
Exactly. Because you know what? It's going to save you time. Yes. You know, getting a mentor has saved me so much time. My wife, she looks at me all the time when we first met. She was like, you want to buy a class for what? I was like, look, I'd rather buy a class, get a mentor, than for me to go through the hard knocks of learning.
Yeah.
You know, and, you know, to me, getting a mentor, getting somebody that's already been there before I have, it's going to save me so much time.
Yes.
So Paul says he has to get more. He needs BOA, US Bank, M&T, TD, Citizens, BMO.
Yes.
Keep it going. Keep it going, Paul.
Yes.
All right, next we got
Jason.
Troy.
Oh, Troy.
Troy says, just found your channel, loving the information, trying to get out of 9 to 5. Let's go, Troy.
Yes.
And look, Troy, you know, depending on what you're doing, always raise money. And Paul just came up with something. Maybe you might want to get in the funding space when helping businesses get funding. So Jason says, how are you getting leads for buying cheap properties with lots of equity? What are you investing now? Mostly single family. I don't know if you're asking or you saying that's what you're doing, but I would say one of the cheapest ways to get leads in real estate is the bandit signs. The bandit signs. We buy houses. That's the easiest way to get cheap leads. Target
the yard signs. You know, like right now they have the election going on. You know, the little yard signs that they be putting all over. That's a good way.
Yep. What we're investing in now, Gloria and I are investing in our online businesses. And YOLO says, he has relationships with PNC, Chase, Goldman Sachs, Amex, Fundbox, Navy, Truist, BOA, Fidelity. That sounds great. And he said, business lines of credit only, many more to go. A man after my own heart.
I love it.
Go for it.
I love it.
Go for it.
Yes.
And look, guys, you know, also get with the banks and ask them about what other products they have. Like Navy just came out with a new cash rewards credit card. You know, they're always coming out with something new. And also see if you can consolidate sometimes your credit cards to get higher limits. Yeah. Like sometimes you can have two cards, especially with Chase on the business side. It may be better to combine the cards, get a higher limit, and then go back and get the other card again.
Yeah.
Like you can actually do that.
That's fact.
You know, you can combine 2 of your Chase business cards to get 1 card, and then the card you just gave up, wait about 30 or 60 days and apply for that for that card again.
Yeah, very good point, Marvin. Yeah, I forgot about it. Yeah, you can't do that.
And so Jason said, what are your thoughts about self-storage? Oh my God. We live in Puerto Rico, and I've been telling Gloria about this. I said that's the best real estate ever created.
Yeah, self-storage is off the meter.
You got 2 toilets in self-storage, but you may have, you know, I don't know, 500 units. To me, that is you got one door to close, hardly any windows. To me, a self-storage.
Low maintenance.
That's one of my long-term goals. So, Jason, I absolutely love storage. I'm not so big on laundromats. To me, it's a lot of machinery. I don't know. RV parks, I might, that might be
That's a good one too.
If I had to say favorites out of what you just said,
storage.
I like self-storage, RV parks, then laundromats. Paul says, or if you have multiple business, can you go back and get funding for each LLC? Yes.
Most definitely.
All day.
That's the way to go.
All day. Eli says, how do you maintain a happy and healthy relationship mixing business with love? Well, I just learned to be quiet a lot.
Oh my God.
She's always right. So no, I think, you know, when you're separating business and love, I think, you know, you just got to know your personnel and you got to know your roles. Mm-hmm. You know, Gloria's good at certain things. I'm good at certain things.
Yes.
And we try to have boundaries. So I would say we just have boundaries. And then when it's time to get off, like usually that's hard for us. Either one of us on the phone, but we're learning to give each other that time where we just concentrate and focus on each other. So I would say, know your role in a relationship, know your boundaries, and when it's time to get off and focus on each other, focus on each other. Are you both full-time in business? Yes. YOLO says, card merging is a gold mine and underutilized. Yes, it is. That's why I brought it up. That's a major inside tip.
Yeah, it is.
A lot of people don't realize that you can do card merging on the personal side and on the business side.
Yeah.
Like with Navy, that's how you can actually get an $80,000 limit on the, what's that black card called? On the black card that Navy has.
Oh, the flagship?
The flagship. That's how you can get an $80,000 limit on the flagship, is by merging cards to get a higher limit. And then, like I said, depending on which bank, you can go back and get the card that you merged.
As long as you don't go over whatever the banking limit is on that particular category.
That's true. And that's where you got to study the bank.
Yeah, they have categories where like some banks may say, hey, on the credit cards, they may not give you more than $150,000, for example.
Right.
So that means through over all of your products that you have, your cards, maybe your B-Lock, your loan, they may have a cap.
Right.
So you have to look at that.
Right. Eli has another question. He said, how did you guys navigate through tough times in business and stick together through thick and thin? A lot of partners leave as soon as hard times come. They don't support. Man, that's a great comment.
Yeah.
Well, I think first of all, you know, we love each other. That's number one.
Yes.
And yes, have we had tough times? Yes. But I think the tough times actually bring you closer together. You know, my dad used to always say that. He said, when you got a lot of money, that's when arguments and confusion happen. But usually if you get low on money or things get really tough, it's actually the best time, because you really start to see that I love this person. It's not about, oh, we can go take trips or we can tear the store down when we go or whatever. You really realize that it's more to life than just money.
And one of the things that was really important for Marvin and I, our relationship, is that you know, we tell each other that we love each other throughout the day constantly.
Yeah.
You know, that's the first thing that Marvin, you know, like sometimes we can be sleeping. Marvin in the middle of the night, he'd be like, baby, I love you so much. And I'll be like, oh, I love you too. I hear him in the middle of the night. You know, so we do, you know, we love on each other a lot. You know, Marvin can be in the middle of working, or I could be cooking something. And I'll be like, babe, I love you. So we tell each other, we remind each other how much we love each other throughout the day. It's not just like at a certain, something, a special event, or, you know, like Valentine's Day or something. Like Marvin tells me, we tell each other we love each other at least 10 times a day. At least. At least 10 times a day. Yeah.
And somebody just said something I really like. Jason, are you both into manifestation? Yes. Not as much meditation, but we have meditated before. But I love the manifestation. I love speaking things into existence. I'm big on that. Man, it's a book written by a guy named Joseph Murphy. He's dead. He wrote these books back in the early 1900s. Oh my God, it's some of the best books on manifestation. Matter of fact, you're going to make me look that book up again, because it really, when I read, and they're short reads, you know, he has very short books, but it means so much to speak things into existence and then speak about it till you see it. Like, keep talking about it till you see it. Gloria and I have manifested several things in our relationship, our business, dreams that we both had.
And another thing, babe, is, you know, one of the things that I think really helps us and helps keep us grounded. Not just as a couple, but, you know, my spiritual and Marvin's spiritual, you know, keeping our mind right. You know, like every morning when we get up, Marvin is playing something with Tony Robbins. And let me tell you, sometimes I be like, dang, he is straight talking about me. You know? Or a light bulb clicks in my head because something so small that he said is a major part of my life. So to me, you know, and Marvin, he started this like years ago. So every single day we wake up to something motivational, whether it's Tony or even E.T. We listen to E.T. a lot. You know, so it's all about your mindset. You know what I'm saying? And I think the reason why Marvin does that is because that's how we start our day. You know, we're both in the bathroom, getting dressed, brushing our teeth, getting showered. We're together. When you see him, you see me. When you see me, you see him. So that's how we start our day. We start our day with something motivational, because everything is about mindset, and that feeds your spirit.
It is. You know, because before you could even get to the bank and loans and all of that, you got to have the mindset of everything's going to work out.
Most definitely.
I'm going to get this. If not now, I'll get it later. You know, like Trucker School. Trucker School, I want to say what's up, because you are always commenting on our videos. I want to say, Trucker School, thank you. He said, hard times show you who rocks with you for real. I know that's right. Eli says, that's so true, great and beautiful. I see you guys randomly right now for the first time scrolling. Thank you for stopping by. I live in Dubai.
Amazing.
And girls are very fake here, but your values are so great. I love to see you glowing. Thank you. And we love Dubai. We went there about 2 years ago. I love Dubai, man. And keep traveling. I don't know if you live there. That's where you've lived all the time, but keep traveling, keep moving around. YOLO says, peace and love of self makes it easy to bond on all levels. And you know what?
That's facts.
That's facts. And I believe you don't look for somebody else to make you happy. You look to be happy first. You know, and sometimes, you know, when you go through tough times, or even when you're going through good times, you're looking for the other person to make you happy when you should be happy. So I agree with that.
It starts with you.
And Trucker School, man, thank you. I saw you scroll. I was like, oh, Trucker School. Because one thing I want to say, I want to thank people who are very loyal subscribers. And Trucker School is one of those guys. As soon as he sees a video, I can see him commenting like almost on, I know every video you watch, because I'll see you comment shortly after we release a video, man. And I really, really, really appreciate it, man. I thank you so much. And Yolo says, I go to sleep with I am. Affirmations playing in the background. Yes. Hey, all of that's huge, man, because when you're dealing with money and you're dealing with things that are bigger and better than anybody's ever done in your family, doubt starts to creep in.
Yeah.
You know, you start doubting yourself. You start coming up with reasons why it won't work out.
Yeah.
And you can't do that. You got to keep focusing on, I'm gonna do this. This is going to work out. I deserve this.
Yeah.
You know, and you got to speak those things into existence. Like, you know, I used to always say I'm a money magnet. I used to always say that, and that's why Gloria says in the videos, we call you guys money magnets, because, you know, and it's not to say money is everything, but it does help out. And I want you guys to realize, you know, you guys just got to bring that positive energy in, and guess what? It exudes itself. It comes out, you know, and your bankers will see it. Man, it's to a point now, like Gloria said, we've come a long way. I've had relationship managers reach out to me on social media.
Yeah.
I didn't even have to look for them. They found us.
Yeah.
So Eli says, you guys truly should start a separate podcast channel and just talk about relationship and being partners and doing business together. It would definitely fill a niche in the market, just sharing your stories.
Oh, wow, that's a good one.
I like that.
I really like that.
I'm going to save that, Eli. I appreciate it, man. I really appreciate it. And we've had people even say that before. Mm-hmm. We've had people say that before, because they're like, usually, you know, couples break up when times get hard, or money gets funny, or things don't go one person's way, they break up. And you're right, you know, but I think with Gloria and I, we've just realized that, you know, we produce the things that happen on the outside, and it takes both of us to make it happen.
Definitely.
Like, I don't think I'm doing it all. She doesn't think she's doing it all. You know, it's a combination of us together as a power couple.
Yes, baby.
And Jason says, yes, the lack of money is the root of all evil.
I know that's right.
I love it. Jason, I like that, man. And you're right. Usually it's the lack of money that causes, you know, all the problems.
Yeah.
But man, I want to say I really appreciate you guys sharing. I want to meet you guys. So definitely make sure you check the description below and set up a free business strategy call.
Okay.
Exactly. You two are just great energy. I feel it around the world to over here. All right, man. And I can't wait to come back to Dubai, man. We stayed in Dubai for what?
We were there, I think like 14 days, because we did Dubai and we went over to Egypt.
Right, that's what I was going to say.
So amazing. We enjoyed ourselves.
Yeah. So guys, make sure that, you know, we want to get a chance to meet you guys and interact with you guys. Definitely look at setting up the free business strategy call. I want to get with you guys. I love the energy, man. I love the energy. Eli says, yes, no, I'm only here during the winter because I'm originally from Europe and it gets cold. So I got me a setup in the UAE in the wintertime, but I travel a lot. Miami, New York, when I'm in the US.
That's what's up.
I love it. We're in Mexico, so we travel a lot. Yeah. Yolo says, work on your frequency and vibration. You will definitely attract all that's for you, especially the funding. I love it. Eli says, you guys should come. I love to show you a great time. When we get ready to go back,
we'll reach out.
Make sure you give us your information, name, email. We love making
subscribe. Make sure you subscribe
too. we love making contacts all over the world, guys. Yes. So look, I want to say thank you guys.
Thank you
for showing up. Look, make sure you check out the next videos that we're gonna drop. And guys, thanks for hanging out.
Have a good night.
See y'all later.